One of the most popular terms in the productivity space right now is the idea of a second brain, a place for you to store things outside of your mind in an external system that you trust so you can see them later, be it your tasks, your notes, your ideas, or anything else that comes into your life. But for the longest time, a second brain has had to consist of multiple different apps and tools, a note-taking app, a project management app, maybe a simple to-do app. But not anymore. This is Ultimate Brain, and this is an all-in-one productivity system template for Notion that truly turns Notion into an all-in-one second brain, where you can manage your tasks, your notes, your goals, your projects. Pretty much anything that comes into your life can be stored and managed here in Ultimate Brain. And in this video, I want to show you a little bit of what's in store in this template. So Ultimate Brain, like I said, can manage tasks, can manage projects, can manage notes, and it also uses Tiago Forte's which stands for Projects, Areas, Resources, and Archives organization system to keep everything in your life organized in specific areas or more specific resources. We can do a lot in this app, so I just want to give you a bit of a tour here. First thing you're going to see when you get into Ultimate Brain is this dashboard. And this is an example of a dashboard that you could make inside of Ultimate Brain because all the pieces can be copied and put onto your own dashboards, be they more specific to a certain purpose or more simple if you want them that way. But any one of these toggles can be opened up and you can see all of your tasks that are due today, for example, or all the tasks in your inbox. We can also do the same for, say, our recent notes or our favorite notes. And the cool thing is that if you're using Notion on a mobile phone, you can also click this little link and see the exact same view on its own page, which means that Ultimate Brain is built both with mobile devices and desktop computers in mind, which is something that I don't see with a lot of other Notion templates out there. And those views are identical, so if you're on your desktop, you can easily manage multiple things at once, but if you're on your phone, you can just maybe set a favorite to go directly to one of these specific pages. We also can see high priority projects on our dashboard, and we specifically mark projects as high priority so we don't see them cluttered in with a bunch of other projects that maybe don't matter right now. And we can even set quick links to specific places in our workspace, which can show up in our favorites sidebar. So that is the dashboard. And the next thing I'll show you is the My Day view. So this is essentially a digitized version of the whiteboard that I have behind my desk where I love to plan my day. And this gives you a specific area, which also follows you around the template because it's in a synced block where you can specifically plan out your day. So I've got a meeting with Tiago today at 2 o'clock. I can check that off. I can basically plan out the things I actually intend to get done today, and I can see them without a bunch of other things cluttering up my view. It makes things really simple and really clear. And I also like to purposely plan out my self-care items. That way my work doesn't get in the way. It doesn't cause me to deprioritize them, so I can make sure I actually do these things. On the My Day view, you can also see your upcoming tasks, be it in a due next view, which is very GTD style. These tasks don't have a specific due date, but they've been added to a prioritized due next view. Or I can go to the calendar and I can see the tasks that are actually supposed to get done today. Once again, I can see my priority projects, and I can even keep a daily journal where, due to this daily journal template, I can track my daily habits. I can check those off. I can look again at the My Day view to see those tasks and self-care items that I've planned out, and I can even look ahead at my next 7 days and do next lists. So if I wanted to, I could even plan my day directly from this journal template while I also do morning pages and maybe even review my day at the end of the day. So that's My Day. I'm super excited to be using this as a daily little planner for myself. And next I'll show you Quick Capture. So this is a dashboard that only shows tasks and notes that have been added to your system today. After one day, they get out of this Quick Capture inbox and they go to your regular inboxes, task inbox, note inbox. These classic inboxes are always going to be here, but this Quick Capture inbox gives us a minimalist, always clean area to just open up and dump tasks or dump notes or dump ideas the moment they come into our heads, so we can get them again out of our heads and into the system that we trust. From there, we can process them. Speaking of processing, there's an entire process dashboard which uses the GTD or Getting Things Done methodology, which was invented by David Allen, to help you process your tasks and your notes. So if you are familiar with GTD, you will know that there is a task inbox, and then you add your tasks to specific lists depending on if they're actionable and depending on if you're going to get them done very soon. So we can add them to a due next or next actions list. We can schedule them on the calendar with specific due dates, or we can delegate them to other people with a bit of a note and a wait date if we want. We can snooze them so we see them at a later date and review them if they're not pertinent now, or we can even put them on a someday or maybe list in case we're not actually sure we're going to do them. And likewise, there is a note processing area. So anything that comes into your note inbox or the note inbox in your quick capture area is going to show up here, and then you can add it to an area or a resource or even a project inside of Ultimate Brain. We also have a web clip intake area. So if you're a fan of using Notion's web clipper and you want to clip content from the web into your Notion workspace, you can process it here. And let me show you a quick example of that in action. I've got an article right here that I want to put into my second brain. So I am going to hit this little Notion web clipper thing, make sure that I have the all notes database selected, and I'll go ahead and save this page. And if we go back to Notion, we're going to see both of these articles here inside my web clip intake. From there, I can process them. So I might want to put these in my fitness resource, and we're going to see them inside that resource when I show it to you in just a second. This lets us easily process our web clips separate from our notes, and then we can even see our areas and resources in a little reference area right here. So this lets you process everything that comes into your system, and there are also, if you look in the sidebar, specific pages for all of these different smart lists. So we have just a do next list, just a delegated list, a deferred list for everything that is snoozed or put on the someday list, or that's a cold task, being 2 weeks overdue and not high priority. There's a couple little fun features inside of this that will basically get unimportant stuff out of your way, not delete it, but put it in a place that's going to stay out of your hair unless you go looking for it. Now let's look at the areas and resources, because I mentioned that very recently. So if you're familiar at all with Tiago Forte and is building a second brain course, you know that he has this method of organization called PARA, which stands for projects, areas, resources, and archive. And Ultimate Brain is built around the PARA organization method. But there's a bit of a twist here, because Notion gives us a ton of flexibility using databases and linked views, which means that we can seamlessly put resources and projects inside of areas. And I think that makes a lot of sense, because an area is defined as a sphere of activity with a standard to be maintained over time. And I think those spheres of activities, the different identities we have in our lives, contain those resources, which are going to be topics or themes of ongoing interest, things that we're interested in. They often contain projects. So inside of Ultimate Brain, you can put your resources and you can put your projects inside of areas. Let me show you what that looks like here. There's an area template, so anytime you want to add a new area to your life, you can spawn it directly from the area database, and it's going to look like this. It'll collect projects, it'll collect resources, it'll collect goals even, and it can collect notes. You can favorite your notes, and you can see all of your notes and web clips across all of the resources inside of this area. So for instance, we have a resource called Business Finance, and if we go inside there, we have notes inside that resource. So this could act kind of like a folder or a notebook inside of, say, Evernote, but it's here in Notion, and we can favorite things, and we can even split out our web clips. As you can see right here, we've got a web clip from the IRS website, which is not mixed in with our own notes. It keeps things very nice and organized. And in fact, to keep things even a bit more organized, let me show you one other area that actually contains a few more web clips. So we have this music production area. We've got several different notes that we've taken in here, but also 3 different web clips, and they are from different websites. Well, what if we could split those out by website? We actually can. If we switch over from this all clips view to by site, we're going to see all of our web clips organized by their base URLs, which is really, really handy. But that is not all that our areas and projects and resources synergy can do for us here. Now I want to show you how projects are managed inside of Ultimate Brain, and I think you are really going to like it. So I want to show you a project that exists in my College Info Geek area, which is this Build New Set project. And you're actually looking at the set that I've been building over the last few months. What you can see inside this project are both tasks and notes related to that project. But there's a twist. Not only do we see notes that are related to the project itself, and I can switch over to the project view here to show only notes that I have created from inside this project. So here I have some set design inspiration, but I can also pull notes from other parts of my second brain, which could be really useful. Say I have an interior design resource where I'm collecting articles and inspiration about how to decorate my space. Or say in my music production resource, I have some notes about how to soundproof my space. I would want to see those inside of my project, and I can actually do that using a feature inside of Ultimate Brain called polls. So if you go to the more properties area of your project template, you can see two properties here, pulled resources and pulled notes. And you can see I'm pulling in my entire interior design resource, and I'm also pulling in specific notes from other resources as well. And what you're gonna see if we come over to the notes area and switch to the polls view is not only do we have the set design inspiration note that I created here in projects, but we also have all the notes that are inside that interior design resource and those two specific notes that I pulled in via the pulled notes property. So this allows you to have an entire dashboard for your project that shows you all the tasks related to the project, and these tasks are going to show up on your smart lists like due next or on your calendar if you give them due dates, but you're also going to see anything that relates to the project in terms of reference material or your ideas and brain dumps. Everything is on this project page, which gives you a single place to go to manage the project. Now, let me show you a couple of the more traditional views here. We have a task manager where you can see your calendar right away. And this is the ultimate tasks template that you may have already been using for quite a while. I've had that template on my site for quite some time, but it has a lot more going on inside of Ultimate Brain. Number one, it is deeply integrated with those projects, which means that it's integrated with notes as well. And it has those GTD style lists that you can add to, like due next, delegated, and deferred. And just like you saw on the dashboard, we can toggle open these toggle lists so we can see them on this big computer screen, or we can simply click in and see a specific page for this view, which is great for a mobile phone. We also have a dedicated notes hub where you can see your notes inbox. You can see notes that you have added to your favorites list. You can see all of your areas and resources, and you can switch from resources to areas to see those. You can see all of your recent notes across your entire workspace, which I find particularly useful, especially if I'm constantly going back to something at a certain point in time. And there's even a feature called fleeting notes. If you add a note here and you don't update it in over a month, it is going to go straight to your archive, and once again, it's going to get out of your hair. And this solves a problem that I've had with other second brain personal knowledge management apps in the past, which is that sometimes I want to add a note to my system, but it won't matter a week from now. And I want it to not gunk up all of my other notes that are acting as true long-term reference material. So I created fleeting notes. And here, if you have something that's just a quick meeting or something you want to jot down that's not going to matter in a month or a week, you can put it here and you can be sure that it's going to safely go to your archive, not delete itself, but also not be gunking up your recents view or your inbox or anything like that. Few more features to show you here in this little preview. There is a plan view, so you can see all of the goals and the projects that are planned for both this quarter, but also quarters ahead. So this is a great place for doing some more long-term planning and prioritizing what's important in your life. There is a specific goals hub where you can create goals that are related to specific areas, but you can also add projects within those goals. And I think this is really helpful because sometimes with certain goals, there are milestones that you want to track, but they're not directly actionable, right? Like hit a 300-pound bench or a 350-pound squat. These are not directly actionable things because the actual actions that I need to take to get to this milestone is go to the gym, do the specific programming that my coach has given me. I won't be able to put up these numbers until I'm ready, so they're not very actionable. And I may actually have projects related to a bigger goal that's going to have a bigger overarching change in my life. So here, I've got a project for setting up a mini garage gym inside this larger goal of hitting a 1,200-pound powerlifting total. That's really useful. And speaking of useful, I've added a couple of special features inside of the template that I honestly wanted for myself, but I thought you would really enjoy as well. One of those is this book tracker. So this actually uses the master notes database, and these are special notes inside of that database, but they have some extra metadata like their read status and their author, an image of the cover, and the dates that you started and finished it. Oh, and a rating as well. So we have these special little views for to read, where you can put your TBR, your to be read list, your reading, your read books, and your paused books, along with an overall gallery where you can see your ratings and swap these books around as you like to create a nice little bookshelf. And there is also a similar recipe book for creating a nice little database of recipes. So when you're trying to cook something at night or you're going to the grocery store, you can go right into your second brain and see exactly what you should make for dinner or for breakfast. I've even included a couple of default recipes, so try these if you're interested, but this also shows you the template for the recipe book. You can go in here and you'll see the ingredients, you'll see the recipe, and there is even a drop-down toggle list list for the inbox so you can actually add groceries that you need while referencing the ingredients for a recipe that you want to make tonight. So that, my friends, is Ultimate Brain. This is the template, again, that I have wanted ever since I started using Notion. I am super excited for you to try it. And in case you're not watching this on the sales page, you can find it over at thomasjfrank.com/brain. And unlike many other Notion templates you're going to find out there, this template comes with a support community. You're going to find lengthy tutorial videos, documentation, all kinds of instruction on how to use this template inside of that community, and you'll be able to even ask questions and make suggestions as well. Membership to that community is completely free. It comes with your purchase of Ultimate Brain. You don't have to pay for it month to month. You just get in automatically once you buy the template. So I will see you there, and I'm looking forward to also seeing your suggestions for improvements for this template in the future.